Tang Wulin sneaked up on the purple mecha and attacked it with his Shaking the Heaven Golden Dragon move. This managed to give him enough time to entangle it with blue-silver grass. He went for another attack, and with the help of ZC, he defeated the mecha. The guy in the mecha asked who they were. Tang Wulin told him if he wanted to know who they were, he would have to apologize first. The guy was confused. Tang Wulin told him that they came from the Spirit Transmission Tower headquarters to test their abilities to improvise. He added that they let them down. He asked Gu Yue to show them their passport. Gu Yue did so. After seeing the insignia, the enforcers had no doubt. Tang Wulin continued scolding them. From a distance, he saw more enforcers arriving, so he and his team decided to leave. In a room, they discussed the matter. Shixi thought that Tang Wulin was amazing. Gu Yue asked why he thought so. He told her it was because of his ability to lie. He asked her if the Spirit Transmission Tower had a judicial squad. She told him that they did, but they didn't have to keep an eye on each other. She told him to call them the judicial squad next time. Cici was amazed. Tang Wulin was against doing that anymore. He asked Gu Yue how she obtained the insignia. She told him that she made it herself. She also added that their way was the quickest. Tang Wulin asked where they could flee if the Spirit Transmission Tower alerted other authorities to blockade the city and capture them. Gu Yue assured him that they wouldn't because they might respect her teacher. Then, out of nowhere, Wu arrived. They all greeted him and asked if they passed. They looked at him with a sincere face. Wu told them that they did pass. This made everyone happy. Tang Wulin noted that Wu was smiling. He was unaware that Wu was unsure whether to laugh or cry at that time. All of them were very dear to him, especially Tang Wulin. He knew if he didn't grow up to be intelligent and fearless, he would become a big villain, so he decided to be tougher on him. Tang Wulin was happy because everything was going smoothly. At the Spirit Transmission Tower headquarters, the footage from the interaction between Tang Wulin's team and the enforcers was being reviewed. One man asked if the HQ Judicial Squad could supervise their Judicial Squad president, stating that it was their matter. The president responded, asking if the man was correct, and questioned why their Judicial Squad failed to realize this simple fact. He mentioned that, according to credible reports, the evil Soul Masters came to the train station, and he had dispatched someone to investigate. Due to the Judicial Squad's incompetence, they should return home soon. The Judicial Squad had gone on orange alert as of that day. Everyone was instructed to write reviews and consider their own flaws, and the training time was to be doubled. After that, the president asked him if Tianfeng Duluo had said anything. He replied that she hadn't, and assured the president that they would handle the situation themselves without her interference. He then inquired if they should look for the kids. The president responded that it was enough humiliation and insisted that the information had to be suppressed, instructing not to distribute or report it. He agreed. The president asked if they were going to 10 cities for their exam, to which he affirmed. The president then emphasized keeping this information safe, expressing confidence that they weren't the only ones feeling humiliated, and noting that a period of peace had made them complacent, thus requiring some outside stimulus. The president concluded by urging increased vigilance. In the city, Tang Wulin's team was stuck in a small car. Tang Wulin explained that there was no other way since the Soltul railway station was closed, and he only had enough money to buy such a car. He encouraged everyone to hang on until they reached the Heavenly Spirit City, reassuring them that they would be all right. He suggested they chat about something. Xinglan asked what they should chat about, and proposed discussing battle armor. She mentioned that she should be able to break past level 40 and fuse a soul spirit upon their return, and after leaving, she would explore additional possibilities. Tang Wulin found it difficult to get out, and suggested they talk about something else, asking everyone to share their desires. He asked Xinglan about her dream. Xinglan expressed her wish to stay at the academy, enter the inner court, and not leave. She intended to study hard to become a great battle armor master capable of protecting the academy. ZC bluntly stated that she just wanted to be a non-competitive female. Although a little frustrated by his statement, Xinglan agreed. Tang Wulin then asked Xiaoyan about her dreams. Xiaoyan said she had no specific plans and just wanted to marry the guy she loved when she got older. She mentioned that she was like Xinglan and didn't want to take on any family responsibilities, believing it was best to think her martial soul didn't have the starlight. ZC criticized her lack of drive and stated that his objectives were far larger. He aspired to be part of this generation's Shrek 7 Devils, explaining that every 50 years, the Shrek 7 Devils are reselected. The previous generation would step down once the new generation emerged. It was a huge honor for any Soul Master to be chosen. The selection would take place over the next 4 years, and any inner court disciple under the age of 25 could apply. He was determined to be picked until that day. Tang Wulin thought that indeed they would just be 18 years old when the selection began, not overaged, only 18 years old, yet having to deal with seniors who were stronger than him would be a lot of strain. ZC stated that he was aiming higher than Xiaoyan. Xiaoyan questioned the point if he couldn't accomplish it. ZC responded by asking how she knew he couldn't do it and affirmed that he would do his best. That was the target he had set for himself. Tang Wulin asked where he had heard about that from. He told him that Yuanen told him. After hearing that, everyone started teasing him. Tang Wulin asked Liji what his dream was. Liji responded that he was so lazy that remaining at the academy suited him well, and he had no desire to be one of the Shrek 7 devils. Tang Wulin mentioned that there was a food system soul master in the first generation of Shrek 7 devils who eventually became a deity and even had the capacity to resurrect himself, questioning why Liji couldn't do the same. Liji thanked him for believing in him and gave him a bean bun. Tang Wulin asked Gu Yue about her plans. Before she could say anything, ZC stated that she wanted to marry him. This embarrassed Gu Yue and she warned ZC. ZC, seeing the situation he was in, quickly apologized. Gu Yue told them that she couldn't tell them what her goals were. Tang Wulin understood her situation. Gu Yue asked him what his goal was. He told her that he wanted to join the army. She asked the reason, but he told her that it was a secret. In his mind, he thought about the reason, which was to get stronger so he could save his parents. The next morning, at the Spirit Transmission Tower in Heavenly Spirit City, Tang Wulin stopped a woman and challenged her. She thought he was joking. She told him not to mess with her and to get out of her way. Tang Wulin told her he wasn't joking and attacked her. She was surprised to see that he had 3 rings. She used her fire abilities to stop his attack, but her fire couldn't stop his blue silver grass. She threw a fireball at him, but it was stopped by Gu Yue. Tang Wulin knew he had to finish this quickly. Gu Yue restrained her using ice chains, and ZC managed to sneak up behind her, but it was no use. She threw massive fireballs towards them. They were now in big trouble. Wu told them that they would pass the exam in that city as long as they defeated her. Tang Wulin didn't see any way they could beat her, but they had to because they irritated her. He decided to use his battle armor. The woman was surprised. Liji gave him some brisk Xiao Long Bao and Bloodlust bean paste buns. Tang Wulin, with his abilities recovered and enhanced, attacked her. He managed to suffocate her flame using his skill, but it was no use. She threw more fireballs toward him, and he barely managed to evade her attack. The power of her one-word battle armor was proving too much for them. The situation was in her control. Not even Gu Yue's elemental storm could get past her defenses. Tang Wulin tried to stop her, but before she could attack, the law enforcers arrived. The woman was certain that Tang Wulin's team would be in trouble, but to her surprise, Tang Wulin played the victim card and blamed everything on her. Xiao Yan also joined in. One of the law enforcers asked the woman why she had picked a fight with those kids. She retorted, telling them not to accuse her and claimed they had clearly chosen to fight her first. Tang Wulin questioned what she said and pointed out that he was just 14 years old and his comrades were only 13, making it unlikely they would dare to provoke a one-word battle armor master. She argued that they had clearly initiated the fight and hadn't known she was a one-word battle armor master, stating they had never met before. Tang Wulin countered, asking why they would initiate a fight with her first if she was a one-word battle armor master. He added that she had just become a one-word battle armor master and wanted to test it out. He claimed she made the first move, forcing them to defend themselves, and accused her of bullying the weak because they were children. The woman grew increasingly frustrated. The law enforcer told them to stop accusing each other and follow him to the Spirit Transmission Tower to review the camera footage and determine the truth. The woman questioned his judgment and asked what would happen if she refused. Tang Wulin pointed out to the law enforcer that she was being conceited and domineering. The woman then lost her temper and attacked the law enforcer. Seeing an opportunity, Tang Wulin fled with his teammates. After a while, they managed to escape. Cici remarked that Tang Wulin was getting better at acting cool, even in tough situations. Tang Wulin told him that if they were apprehended, it would take a long time to escape, so they could only flee first and apologize to her later. At headquarters, the woman remained frustrated. A man arrived and addressed her as Miss Yan Feng, apologized to her, and admitted that the kids were at fault. She ordered him to apprehend them. He explained that they couldn't because they were not a union law enforcement agency, and any overt action could easily cross the federal government's red line. He also noted that since she wasn't injured, there was no basis for punishment. Faced with no option to punish them, she instructed him to disregard it and left. Outside, she spotted Wu. She found him attractive. She knew he was more powerful than her, but couldn't gauge his cultivation base. Wu greeted her, surprising her. He introduced himself and apologized for what she had endured because of his students. She was taken aback that they were his students. She asked if he had taught them to attack her suddenly. Wu stated he had not, but since they were his students, he would take responsibility. He apologized again and was about to leave when she stopped him, saying an apology wouldn't suffice. Wu asked what she desired instead. She suggested he treat her to a meal. Wu agreed and took her to a restaurant. She asked him about his age and where he was from. He told her he was from Shrek and was 33 years old, 6 years her senior. Yu's quiet demeanor made her uncomfortable. She inquired about what had happened with her students. She recounted how the leader had attacked her and shifted blame. Wu explained that he was talented. She advised him to be more careful in choosing students. He assured her that Tang Wulin was a good boy. She urged him to ignore Tang Wulin and share more about himself. She asked where he taught and he replied, Shrek. She queried if his battle armor was 1 word or 2 word. He answered that his armor was 2 word. She was amazed. She revealed she had recently become a 1-word battle armor master and named her armor Phoenix. She asked about his armor's name. He replied it was Sky Ice. She asked why he named it so. He explained Sky was part of his martial soul's name and Ice was his wife's name. Shocked by the revelation of his wife, she fell silent, visibly disappointed. Tang Wulin and his comrades set off on their journey leisurely and soon completed their exams in several cities. Half of the mission was completed on the 4th day. Tang Wulin instructed them to speed up, emphasizing that they should have finished 4 missions that day and the next to arrive in Bright Capital City the following day. He mentioned that there were numerous Soul Masters in Bright Capital City, so visiting the Spirit Transmission Tower would be unnecessary. He advised them to be humble upon arrival. Xinglan knew exactly where they should go, stating that Bright Capital City housed an academy that had been a major rival to their Shrek Academy 10,000 years ago and remained one of the top academies on the continent to this day. Gu Yue identified it as the Sun Moon Imperial Soul Engineering Academy, noting its traditional heritage spanning 10,000 years. Xinglan added that completing the final exam round would earn them the most gold. Tang Wulin agreed and urged them to proceed, but they faced another problem. They were surrounded by mechas. They halted the car. Gu Yue conjured a blizzard, buying them time to flee into the woods. Tang Wulin knew the mechas wouldn't kill them, leaving them a chance to escape. He engaged the mechas, successfully distracting them. Due to the blizzard, the mechas couldn't detect them. Gu Yue devised a plan to ensure their safety by leading everyone into an underground cave. She believed the soil would shield them from detection. Tang Wulin cautioned everyone to control their breathing due to the thin air. Gu Yue reassured them she could create oxygen by separating the water element, allowing everyone to breathe comfortably. Gu Yue suggested they wait before leaving, unsure how the city's spirit transmission towers had detected them, rendering their previous route ineffective. She insisted they find an alternative path. Tang Wulin replied they still needed to visit major cities with Soul Master academies. An hour later, they emerged from the cave to find their car broken. Tang Wulin checked the map and saw the next city was 200 kilometers away, leaving them no choice but to run. Li Ji disagreed with the plan. They arrived at the Sky Order Star Ocean Soul Master Academy and hung a banner stating they were students from Shrek Academy, challenging their best team of students under 20. A student demanded proof of their identity. Tang Wulin showed his golden ring. The students were surprised. A man approached Tang Wulin, asking if he was from the outer or inner court. Tang Wulin introduced himself as the class monitor of the 1st grade outer court. The man instructed them to take down their banner and follow him. He introduced himself as Li Jilong, headmaster of Sky Order Star Ocean Academy. He mentioned their academy was Sky Order City's premier Soul Master Academy, with a millennium-long heritage, specializing in flying-type Soul Masters, Soul Engineers, and Mecha Masters. He asked if they were there on behalf of Shrek Academy. Tang Wulin clarified they were representing themselves, not their academy. For their final test, they had to face stronger opponents in the 10 cities they had visited. The academy had confiscated their IDs and equipment, leaving them no choice but to act boldly. They chose his academy due to its status as the top academy in Ski Order City and the Northwest region. Li praised their courage, as expected from Shrek Academy. Tang Wulin asked if he had attended Shrek Academy. Li explained he had graduated from the outer court 15 years prior, but hadn't returned in many years, reminiscing about the sacred ice square. His greatest aspiration back then was to study by the sea deity's lake and enter the inner court, though it never came to pass. In the restroom, Li asked if they wanted to do a regular battle with skills or if they wanted to use mechas. They wanted to do a regular battle because the academy had banned them from bringing mechas. Li left to make arrangements for the battle. ZC questioned Tang Wulin why he had been so honest. Gu Yue told him that Tang Wulin might have picked up on the fact that Headmaster Li had a connection to their academy, so he had chosen the truth. Tang Wulin told them that they should get ready first because the competition wouldn't be easy since the Soul Masters were flying types. Li came back and said to Tang Wulin that he had found someone to be his opponent and asked if he needed more rest. Tang Wulin replied that he did not, and since they were traveling to the next city soon, they should make it quick. Li remarked on the rush and asked if he was terrified of getting eliminated as the class monitor. Tang Wulin responded that he was not, and only wanted to achieve higher grades and share them with his mates, hoping that all their classmates would pass. Lee told him that he was a good class monitor and to follow him. He took them to the Academy's astronomy observatory. He said that this was their most essential area for fighting training because they specialized in flying-type soul masters, and this place had no height restrictions.